It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have another video suggested by a few of you guys. So shout out to Shy Boo and Unworldly Lime 47 for suggesting this video. And the reason that I specifically have to sort of title it and sort of be a bit careful with how we sort of present this is because of the fact that you guys can see the little rectangle, the little square on the back of my little monitor here. So you know that we kind of had to tread carefully with how we decide to present certain things. However, I will say without a shadow of a doubt that genuinely this creator is one of the most toxic creators I've ever seen in the DBD community. Like one of the many, but one of top level, like which we've covered previously in the past within a few shorts or in another video with the covering DBD Twitter that you guys have seen. That I think it had to do with like Momo7's like tweet or something like that. It was, but we're gonna go ahead and actually continue. Which, mind you, the first couple seconds are very important to this conversation, as you're gonna hear right now.
Factually, objectively, statistically killer-sided. Any attempt to deny this will result in a removal of your comment. But
so there you go. They make up blatant lies and with no evidence, and then they say, oh, but if you disagree, your comment's getting deleted. So you're actively trying to silence people that disagree with your take. Make it make sense.
y'all have got to stop saying that the event is survivor-sided. You don't know that.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Minskoll has said in his latest video that the new event was a breaking point for him. He, as a content creator, no longer wants to play Dead by Daylight and will be dramatically reducing his upload schedule. This video doesn't matter. My voice opinion don't matter. The individual players, casual players, players, mass players, event. There's no incentive to anything. There's less 1% of the actual player base plays the game, and the majority of the community doesn't want to do that. We take some events. I'm tired. I see no point in
Did not have to read the whole thing, big dog. Did not have to read the whole thing,
require me to play DBD. Before I get into today's video, don't forget to go follow me.
ColbyAger on Twitch. He makes way better content than me and super funny nonchalant. And he's like 6'5" and drives a Bugatti.
It is written right here above me. I stream Sunday to Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time. So I honestly don't really care that Minskoll's going to be making fewer videos. I just wanted to use his general sentiment to talk about something important. For starters, in reference to the gameplay of the anniversary event, yes, it does have to be geared towards casuals.
I don't know what she's talking about here, because when I think of a casual player, I think of like a guy who just got off the night shift. Maybe he's trying to play like a little Michael Myers game because he's a really big Halloween fan. I don't think any casual player's just gonna like hop on DVD and play the event and just hope to escape every single game.
It's the same reason you...
Which is that is a good point. Like I can't say that I can speak for every single casual player. I can't say that I can speak for, you know, everybody who's got 9 to 5s and specifically logs on for DBD. But what I can say is that I've already shifted past playing this game to the point that I am playing casually now. So what does that obviously mean? If I'm logging into streams basically and we're going live, then I'm probably playing for maybe an hour of DBD. We swap off to play the game I actually want to play, which currently is Resident Evil 4 or a different game coming up, yada yada. Now, I can say from my own perspective, that's the only thing I can speak on, is the mere fact that I don't enjoy it. Like as a casual, I don't enjoy it. It's boring. Like survival already isn't interesting. You take away all the stakes when you add in all these extra boosts. Go on killer, pretty much plenty of things that are in there that are just uncounterable at that point. Whether they can insta heal in the snap of a finger, they can easily teleport whenever they want, speed boost whenever they want. They have everything they need at that point, and that's besides the laundry list of things that they can get that's being listed within the event tab.
You don't see big content creators complaining about the gameplay of 2v8.
Yeah. The evidence is crazy, bro. You don't see big content creators complaining. Literally.
They don't like 2v8 because it takes away from the 1v4 queue times, but they don't complain about the gameplay of 2v8 because it's not made for them. LTMs are made for casuals. There definitely are casual killer players. I was one of them for a very long time.
Mind you, by admitting that you're a casual player on killer, that also directly means that you're not a killer main as well. So like, when you really read into, and this is why I constantly tell you guys about the LARPing, the gaslighting, the other nonsense across the DVD community, is the way that even people decide to try to, you know, justify or explain their takes and some bullshit. You literally said that you're playing casually, which therefore means that you don't main the killer. Because casual doesn't mean you're maining it. Casually means you're loading in a match every once in a while. And the LARP is there. It's about a killer main. No, you're not. Like, you're really not. You're just simply not, dog. Like, you don't play the game. Or if you do, you're autopiloting, pressing random shit and calling it a day, because not people that are actually dedicating their playtime to killer say the same shit that everyone else says. People that don't play casually, therefore they are not playing killer that often, or they are not, or they're mixing in survivor in there, therefore splitting the hours across those two, which means your MMR does not increase as quickly, say that if you were to only focus on one side.
But the vast majority of casuals play Survivor, almost exclusively. So that explains why there's more fun stuff in the event for survivors. But y'all have got to stop saying that the event is survivor-sided. You don't know that.
How do we not know that? Excuse me? How do we know that? How do we not know that if people are playing the event? That makes no freaking sense.
Alright, I'm gonna briefly explain all the stuff that survivors get in the event versus killers. Survivors get a third health state on top of Dead Hard.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that too. So to give a quick list, just to save time: invincibility, invisibility, free health state, sprint burst on demand. What else was there? There is that teleporting with the portal. What else is there? Jesus Christ, the list goes on, and I don't really care enough to remember all of it. But the killers, all they're getting is a single fart cloud. That's all you get, you know. You're welcome. And if you're curious, and if you actually play the game or have it still installed, you can just load up the game, look at the game, look at the tab for the event. Everything that says killer is one line, everything else is survivor has this, and you're like, what? Like, it's a lot, and you're like, what is the purpose, honestly?
With Champion of Light, and survivors are basic. Yeah.
Nobody knows that except for behavior. I don't know that. You don't know that. Nobody knows that except for behavior.
This is another example of what I've been talking about with the LARPing, gaslighting, and things like that. But also, this is why I specifically have brought up those points, because you see something like this where this is the same individual that argued semantics, because that's why it's killer sided, because it's it's supposed they're shooting for 60% kill rate, so that means that it is. And it's like, but then why are they not reaching it then? Why are only 2 killers out of the entire roster reaching even barely 50% on Nightlight consistently? And even when we covered it many months ago, it was below that. It was around 40, and some were even in 30 to 20. So how is that even possible? But the thing is, to adopt this mindset means you have to be delusional. To adopt this mindset, that means you have to ignore facts and logic. And we've seen that before with another video that we've covered, where they were trying to claim that a Blight streak means that the game is killer-sided. Yet only one person was able to do that, and only the one person has been able to do that, being Momo7th, who's a 10k hour comp player. So, like I say, and then when that point is brought up in their response, they said, oh, I don't care about that. So they completely ignore and throw away all logic to adopt these mindsets. It makes no freaking sense. There's no evidence to prove these things unless you live in a world of delusion. Because what else is there to say? If the patch notes are all there, readily available for everyone, that is released by behavior, every patch, and every single patch and its impact, is being recorded by literally everyone. What is there left to say? Like, the evidence is all there. We could even see by the amount of the event being, like, what the effects offered for each side, and how one side gets one single item and effect, the other side's getting 10 different effects and items and shit on top of the perks that they can already use. So, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I keep saying this, it's just illusion. There's not much else you can say. That's why I constantly am saying, like, the DVD community, they tend, like, at least they just tend to have very low IQs. Like, it doesn't make any freaking sense.
The terms survivor-sided and killer-sided are used to describe who wins more games. In the base game, that is killers. And until you have specific...
So now we're making up new terms and conditions for this. That makes no freaking sense. Because when people bring up the point that something is a-sided, that means that it's being favored in some way. Right? So obviously when you look at the patch notes, you look at the updates and its effects, right? Because you could say, oh, but killer got buffed. What were the buffs? Okay, doctor, he gets a decimal of a decimal to his detonation on his attack, and that's it. That's all he gets. Consistently been a low tier killer, that's the best he's got. Every other change that we saw was minuscule and didn't make a difference. You can read the patch notes yourself if you're curious. They provided no substantial changes for these characters. There are characters with bugs in the game for multiple years. Deathslinger has had his gun misaligned on every single cosmetic for years. And it has never been patched, never been fixed. It has been constantly misaligned. He also has the invisible wall situation where he can't shoot through little cracks and crevices, which, mind you, is purely for style points because you can't actually kill anyone through the wall or anything. You can only break the chain and get them into deep wound, like whoop-de-doo, which they nerfed deep wound as well. So regardless of how you slice it, like the fact of the matter is that it still shows in every metric. They just favor the survivor in every way possible. It's just how it is. We're going off of everything that's being given to us that we can use as concrete evidence.
Specific official data from behavior showing that survivors win more in the event, you cannot say that it is survivor-sided. If you do, that is misinformation. If you do, that is misinformation. What you can say is it feels survivor-sided, or I'm losing the majority of my games on killer. Those are claims that relate to my games on killer.
Actually, you know what's funny? I remember somebody bringing this up. I think in the Discord community as well, because I think they had brought up the point that, like, I think I had discussed one of the shorts or whatever because they like to pretend that they're a killer main, and yet they're getting 4-outed. This is the same person, I believe, that has also stated you don't need to use strategies to win killer. It's so easy, yet they're getting 4-outed on Nemesis with Haunted Grounds and whatever other bullshit ass perk they're equipping. So I'm a little bit confused as to how that works, because if killer is so easy and, oh my god, I don't need a tunnel, I don't need the camp, I don't need to do anything, then why are you getting 4-outed then? Why aren't you on 100+ like match streak with Nemesis then? Makes no sense.
Those are claims that relate to your personal experience, not the objective state of the game. Minskoll makes a very specific type of content. It's complain content for killer mains.
If Minskoll makes complain content about killer mains, shall we look at your videos?
Playing Blight makes me feel more in control of my match.
You know what I find? You know, this creator really makes a very interesting point. The fact that they try to make up this narrative and saying that it's quote-unquote complaint, which is another thing we see in the DVD community. They make up shit, as I always say. So they make up new terms now. Now it's called complain content. All right, buddy. Yet simultaneously, they proceed to do the same exact thing. I don't understand it. They have complaint content for survivor mains, and every time I've been I have people submit shorts like these, which I forget to post these, honestly. When it comes down to like short form content, I always forget to make these. But when I have gone over a few of these, it usually boils down to I'm reading this bitching complaining post, and then they proceed to either agree with the survivor main or disagree with the killer and saying it's a skill issue. Which, mind you, by the way, shout out to Mag in the what do you call it, in the Discord community, because this is actually his post on, I think it's Reddit. It says playing Blight makes me feel more in control of my matches. Shout out to him. Which I'm not, which, mind you, if you remember on the channel here, you'll know which name I'm referring to, and you know we can't actually say it because apparently if we say bro's name, we're being political somehow. But mind you, it's spelled MAGIRIFIC, right? So, but hey, apparently, you know, people can't spell, you know, they can't read. I don't know. Regardless, let's continue.
4-man Swift all loading at the same time, no worries, I'm playing Blight. Flashlight Squad, no worries, I'm playing Blight. Sabo Squad, no worries, I'm playing Blight. 2 duos with high hours and our god loopers, no worries, I'm playing Blight. Shitty large map that my poor ghost face can control all the gens, no worries, I'm playing Blight. Get taken a shack or any strong tile, no worries, I'm playing Blight. Ever since I started learning Blight, I feel more in control of my matches. My killer anxiety is basically non-existent anymore because I come already prepared for whatever the matchmaking throws at me. You guys know how it is. You pick a stealth killer, for example, and get a large open map, or you get a range killer and get an indoor map and you grow and hope to at least get 1 kill.
This person is essentially saying, at least with a few of the examples they brought up, like 2 duos with high hours that are god loopers, they're saying that they're supposed to be able to beat those survivors.
So you read that entire thing out and you didn't even realize that the person was talking about Blight being able to help them beat those kind of players, not instantly win a game.
You know, that is the key component that, like I've always said once again, this is why I keep bringing up these points. A lot of these DVD players are trying to gaslight you, are trying to make up narratives and try to share their delusion as fact. And as you can see, when you read the post, when you actually have have brain, you know, a working brain and actual working brain cells, it will tell you, you know, okay, they're saying that they had a tough time with playing killer. Playing Blight has allowed to ease a lot of that stress, to allow to feel more prepared when dealing with these situations in these matches, because a lot of the time it feels out of control. You feel like you have no chance. You feel like you have no tools to combat anything. And yet when you load up which, mind you, is a whole other statement in itself, the fact that like having to play the strongest character available in order to feel like you're even standing a chance should be a strong statement for the state of the game. But somehow it doesn't get through these people's thick skulls, and somehow it becomes, oh, you're entitled, you just want to win. And it's like, but yet so do you though, like, you know what I mean? And it makes no sense. It's a goddamn game. People want to play and have fun and also win matches. But the fact of the matter is that the killer's experience does not matter in the DBD community. The killer's stress does not matter. The killer experience does not matter. The killer player does not matter in the DBD community. But if you're a survivor, oh my god, we gotta get the diapers ready and the baby bottle, because oh my god, the baby survivor main is crying. Come on, bro. Why is it that one person's experience does not matter compared to the others? Like, that's insane to me. It's wild to me, bro. But let's continue a little bit more.
They're talking about Blight helping them through their games, not winning their games
Facts.
for them.
Are better than them because they're playing Blight, and that shouldn't be a thing. You should not be able to press a button that equips a certain killer and just guarantee a win in all.
You know what's funny is that Survivor has that. You can put on sprint burst and auto win every chase, basically, on combination with the base kit bonuses of the additional pallets, of the additional hook timer, the additional, oh, I don't know, like the additional endurance off of being unhooked, along with the additional haste, and the healing perk buffs. Oh man, like, it's just an amazing thing, man. So yeah, and then mind you, also this creator mentions you can't because every killer takes skill in their own way. Exactly. And that's the thing that these survivor mains just somehow don't realize. And I'm not saying all, because there's plenty of wonderful survivor mains out there that are extremely level-headed, wonderful people. But referring to these type of people in specifically, they can't get it through their thick skulls that because they play the easiest side and do the easiest shit in the game, which is just running around the map and holding down a button every once in a while, and sometimes pressing spacebar on their fucking keyboard, that somehow there's more skill expression beyond that in the game. And within their ego, they somehow cannot fathom The fact that maybe they're bad at doing the same menial task every goddamn match. Chase is the one thing that Survivor has that is skill expression. And for some reason, that's hit the wayside because of the amount of pallets, the map size, the perks, the items, whatever it may be. It's ridiculous. The fact of the matter is that killer always will require more skill because each killer has its own set of tools and a toolbox. You always can figure out how to use those tools to your advantage in your own way. Skill expression is exactly what killer is about. And that is why it's a damn shame that they've constantly decided to shit on it with this game, because it's like, wow, like that's the most interesting aspect of the game, is not only the characters you can play as, but the tools you get to do those things with those characters, especially when you are somebody who's a slasher fan like myself who wants to play as these iconic characters, and to be able to finally experience what it would be like to play as these characters in a video game, because that's not something you can do anywhere else. We used to have those things with Texas Chainsaw, Friday the 13th, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and the up-and-coming Halloween game, yada yada yada, and the ones prior to that, besides the Halloween game, as of this point, have died as a result because of their mismanagement, or because of a legal issue, or because of something else. And that is the problem. The game has fallen off the wayside because they focus on the wrong things. And I think if Halloween decides to focus on the selling point of the goddamn game, the dude that's on the goddamn front of the cover being Michael Myers, and they make him a force to be reckoned with, make him actually a threat, they can keep the game flowing and going forever at that point. You know what I'm saying? Be able to beat DBD at their own game with only one character, basically. If they are able to do it, because it will be more fun. They want, I'm assuming, they want Myers to be the threat that he is in the films. Make it feel like you're actually trying to get away from him, compared to this, you know, nonsensical piece of shit game that we have nowadays, Slop by Sloplight, where the Thrivers, because they're not called Survivors anymore, the Thrivers get to bully the killer all day. You get to play as a little party clown for the kid's birthday party, and you get less than minimum wage, or basically zero, because you get nothing in return if you lose, and nothing in return if you win. You get nothing for anything you do in that game, besides getting insulted and berated and harassed, which is your reward for playing the game as a killer player. Insanity.
All of your games in every situation that's thrown at you. That is a flawed killer design. But OP's not calling that out and saying that's a bad thing. They're saying that's actually a good thing. And
mind you, Survivor is literally the least skill expressive, you could say, beyond Chase, and yet the highest reward for doing so little. The amount of pressure you can apply with just perks alone are insane. With pallets alone is insane, with the amount of them that we have nowadays. And Blight is not an easy mode character, as much as people like to pretend and say, oh, but it's easy for me, so, you know, that means that it's easy for everyone. Like, no, it's not. Nobody fresh installing DBD is going to load up Blight and go and be amazing. Oh my god, I win automatically. No, you're not. No, you're not. I barely play Blight. And it takes me, I would say, honestly, maybe like 5 matches before I think I'm like really like locked in and understanding how to mentally kind of map out where I'm trying to sort of collide and go around. And another good example is that we can use that was when we were watching a comp player. I think Epidemi had covered it too. There was this comp player, like Sinister or something like that. Mind you, supposedly comp player playing Blight and completely lost the game because bro was just bouncing all over the place and hitting no one. So where's his auto win, right? Where's my auto win? How come I don't load up Blight right now and get a 4K instantaneously by just pressing a single button? But no, that's not how Blight works. You actually have to collide with the correct things to angle correctly, because you're not going against a bot. You're going against a player that's trying to get away from you. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to dodge correctly if they're smart. If they're a fresh install, then, well, I mean, that's them. They don't know what they're doing. That's not their fault at that point. They just have to improve. But that's not the killer's fault. That's not the killer's design that's causing that to happen. That's the lack of skill, the lack of knowledge in play. And that's the thing that frustrates me with this community, man. It's just brain dead takes with no logic, no anything at all at play.
That's the problem. As I'm sure many of you know, as a part of today's update, a lot of filler palettes on a lot of realms have been nerfed. This is just one example. Here's a few more. Pause if you'd like to look at these for a little bit longer. Yeah. And of course, this doesn't cover every single loop that was changed, but these are just a few. So as I suspected, the changes to the palette density update only punish good survivors. No, that is just factually untrue. Survivors were supposed to get quite a few buffs in favor of the casual survivor in 2025, all of which were turned into killer buffs instead. Behavior has stated themselves on numerous occasions that they are trying to balance for a 60% kill rate. This is over half, this is killer-sided objectively. And the actual kill rates themselves, at least in official data, sit around 60%. On some killers, it's closer to 70. I'm tired of pretending this is up for debate. The game is factually, objectively, statistically killer-sided. Any attempt to deny this will
Mind
result in
you,
removal of
all
their
those
comments.
statistics that they're saying are completely made up and fabricated. Because if we're trying to go off of kill rates from when? 2 years ago or something like that? Like, that's probably like what the last time we actually got anything concrete from behavior. So I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. That just doesn't make any sense. We're literally just making shit up as we go along because there's no sources included. There's no screenshot of this. There's nothing there. They're talking out their ass.
Playing content for survivor mains.
But because the game is just objectively rigged in favor of killers, it is.
And that's what's funny is like, even when I put up a clip on TikTok specifically, where this individual tends to post, all the comments are just like losing their minds, saying, "Oh, you didn't watch the rest." Yet when I did see the whole clip, there was no evidence provided, so they're just making shit up as they go along. Or if they do want to claim that it's evidence, it still has no basis in reality. It's literally made up shit that makes no sense. Because mind you, they never bring up anything like the rest of us do, which is patch notes, because that's concrete evidence. And the changes obviously provide an impact onto matches and games, which is easily seen by the not only Nightlight, because that's user submitted at the very least, so you get something out of it, where you can at least trust that the data is accurate, because these people like the game enough and care about the game enough to actually submit data for it. But also the mere fact that we can see the effects of these changes in play. Just from playing the game ourselves, or even looking at other people who are streaming the game, playing the game, posting videos about it, talking about it. These things are all important to talking about the changes and talking about the game as a whole. But with that being said, man, check out the original video linked in the description to watch this creator's full video. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. If you're interested in non-DBD slop, then you can go ahead and check out my other channels. We got a Marvel Rivals channel where I post up my matches. I am a tank main, so I play a lot of tank. I like tank, very fun. Also, I have a video essay channel. I've been working on a few different videos for you guys to put on that channel. So hopefully you guys will tune in for those, man, because we've been working hard on those. It's linked in the description, and the end of this video will have like the end screen that you can use to check those out. Let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys in the next one. You can also become a member on YouTube or Patreon to get access to exclusive content and perks. See you guys next time. All right, let's go ahead and read off these wonderful members. We got Patreon, Crow Vader. All my YouTube members, Brando, Evil Blade, Cap Courteous, WTF You're Not J-Lo, Evil Peach, Hargan Falcon, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Jack, Christian, and Crow Vader. Really appreciate you guys supporting, man. And if you also subbed on Twitch, just know that you got love coming your way too. Appreciate you guys, man.